Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
And I'm reclining.
Chilling.
I'm Sam Healy.
I'm chilling.
Chilling like a villain.
Like a villain on the ceiling.
So today we're talking about our top 10 surprises of 2017. Now, there's a lot of games that came out, but a lot of games, especially in my instance, a lot of games in my top 10, I expected them to be good. They're like, hey, this is a great game. I'm like, all right, I figure it is. But these are games, at least to mine, I don't have any crossover in my top 10, although you could, I suppose.
I don't have any at all.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
I specifically did not.
Yeah, okay. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, there might be some things in our top 10 where like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But these are 10 games that when I played them, I, for the most part, went into all these games going, meh, at best.
Yes.
And then I played it and I was like, oh. Or I thought, it looks interesting, but we'll see. And I was pleasantly surprised.
There you go.
Yeah, for me, it's more. It's not necessarily things that when I heard about it, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like that. I think it's more the fact that I did hear about it, or that it became a thing throughout the year.
Oh.
So I'm kind of tackling sort of categories for the most part.
Well, one of these I didn't even know about until a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, really? Wow.
Yeah, and so, yeah, there's that. And then the other ones are just a lot like what he was talking about, where it was, didn't really care either way, and then, ooh, really like this.
Yep.
And kind of gauges to, you know.
But this is my favorite kind of thing. I love these.
Yeah.
I love to play a game where I'm like, all right. And then it's
Diamonds
like,
in the rough.
what?
Yeah,
That's good.
Better than the alternative, that's
Right.
for sure.
We'll be doing that list later. Here we go. Top 10 surprises.
Very good.
Number 10.
All right, so hey, my number 10 is that one I was just referencing a few moments ago, the one that I just found out about a couple weeks ago. We were on the cruise, and I was playing a game. It was myself, Kenny, and Ilya from Warful Reviews. And
Saw you playing it. Was it Merlin? No, Merlin's in your top 10. It can't be Merlin.
No, not Merlin. It was a game called Guilds.
Right.
Not Guilds of London, not Guilds of
Guildhall.
Cadwallon or whatever it's called. It's just
Guilds. Sounds
Just
boring.
Guilds.
It really does.
Put out by Gyochi Uniti and Asmodee or something like that. I had to actually look that up because I couldn't remember the company that was putting it out.
Okay.
But so Asmodee is the big brother there. But this was I knew nothing about the game. He had it with him, and he said, hey, you want to play this? I said, sure, let's go ahead and do it. And he laid it out, and it was Guilds. I was like, okay. Had never heard of it before. So we got through playing it, and we got into it, and it's a really neat game where you have your own guild house. And you're trying to build up your guild house with different kinds of rooms, but at the same time, you're also trying to recruit new people from the city from different factions like noblemen and knights and thieves and all this other kind of stuff, and you're trying to build the strongest guild throughout the game, and then things are worth a certain amount of points at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points is the winner.
Okay.
But it's a really fun game that I knew nothing about and had a great time playing it, and I would like to get my hands on a copy of it. I haven't seen it other than his. I think he got it at Essen, but I've not seen a
Well,
copy
there's a
of it otherwise.
possibility it's on the way.
There's a possibility, there is that there, but I want to get it in and get some more plays of it so that we can get a review of it done, because I really did enjoy it, had a great time playing it. It was very tense because it has this auction mechanism around the middle where you get the actual people from your for your guild, your actual guild members, and then you can use your silver and trade it in for gold, and gold is used to build the rooms within your guild house. So it has a lot of really cool things going on in it. I just want to sink my teeth into it a little bit more, but this is definitely one of my biggest surprises of it. So that's Guilds from Asmodee, I think.
I actually do have a game we can sink our teeth into. I have Chocolate Battleship at home.
Chocolate Battleship.
Well, it's not called Battleship. It's like chocolate.
So, like, if you sink the other dude's battleship, you get to eat it?
I would prefer to eat my own, actually. I don't want to eat the things you've been touching.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay. Mine is...
So you want to lose?
No. I would want to eat.
They get they're sunk. You eat them, right? So.
Well, no, it's like a reward. It's like a compensation. You sunk my battle.
Makes you
I'll
feel
get back
better.
to you.
Makes you feel better about it. Consolation.
I like it.
All right, my number 10 is Castles of Callendale. I believe that's how it's said. This is from Renegade Games, and this was one that came in such a bad box. Like the box is, I don't know. I don't know if you saw the box for
I
it.
saw that it was, I think, if
It's like
I'm...
a flimsy box.
Oh, okay. No, I did not notice the quality of the box. It looked uninteresting, the box.
Well, I thought the whole thing, it's basically, hey, build your own castle up, and it's like Carcassonne style, and it's like,
okay.
You know, but after playing it, I really enjoy it. The castles, you can put them together pretty much any way you want. In fact, you can rearrange them during the game, as long as you can legitimately move stuff.
Okay.
And you're just getting points for basically sealing off it, putting together stuff from the right castle. You got to put them in the proper order, and when you're done, it looks really cool. It's lighter than it's a light game, but I think it has this, hey, do you want to have fun putting together a castle type thing, and people will do it, and the rules aren't as strict, but I thought it was pretty good. In fact, I kept it, so I kept
that's why
most of the games in this list actually.
Didn't catch my eye. Just didn't sort of
Castles
get
of
on my
Callendale.
radar. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Castles of Callendale. All right. My number 10 is the fact that there was a surprise pandemic game this year that came out of nowhere for me, and that is Pandemic Rising Tide. Wasn't expecting another pandemic, especially when we were getting a season 2 of Legacy. And then an announcement dropped, and I was like, wait, what is this?
Why wouldn't you expect it?
Why were you surprised? I wasn't surprised. They're like
surprised
another
at all.
pandemic. I was like, oh,
I mean,
okay.
last year they came out with season 1. They also came out with the Spanish one, whatever that's called.
Oh,
Yeah.
Iberian. We know Portugal's in Iberia too.
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry.
It's, but it got announced I don't know, I feel like I knew about it longer, before it came out.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like it might be a trend. Maybe they're doing this sort of series around the World Series. That's actually a Carcassonne.
Yeah, it is.
They stopped that though, didn't they, Carcassonne?
I don't know if they've stopped.
Who knows, right? I don't know. But I think The Last Jedi is getting a version of Carcassonne. Yeah,
Wait, is that true?
I got it in. No, but I got it.
Oh, we're doing references to the last Jedi. Okay, I got it.
You're on board now? Anyway, so yeah, Pandemic Rising Tide just surprised me that there was another one. And now I'm thinking, are they doing one of these every year where they have a guest designer and then making a game about some historical event around the world wherever they're hosting the pandemic tournament or whatever?
That would be
All I know is I'm waiting with bated breath. I hope that happens.
Good. Anyway, my number 10, Rising Tide.
Number 9.
My number 9 is number 9. I like the game a lot, but I was hoping it was good. And
Wait, your number 9 is number 9?
Shut up. No, it's not number 9. No, it's not number 9. My number 9 is Christmas Tree. Christmas Tree.
Okay.
That had been on my anticipated games from Essen. I hoped it was
remember
good. And when I saw it, then I was like, oh, man, I had hoped this was good. And then I played it, and it really is good. I was like, oh, woo.
Yeah. I remember you.
I had a little bit of
talked about
this-
It's amazing, though, how the look of a game can make it just sink.
Well, no, the cover of the Christmas Tree looks great. But when I saw the tiles, and I was like, oh, and I read the rules, I was like, well, let's try it. But it's a really good tile placement game. It's
That's
second
two.
tile placement game, yeah. Where you're placing the cards down and trying to connect lights or just, put the right things in the right spots. It was very, very thinky and cerebral. Something you should play at night after an Essen convention, I found. Because I was like, oh.
Is that thinky, really?
Yeah, it's really thinky. Because you're trying to maximize your points. That's how
It
you
would
play
really
stuff.
be cool if they made it an electronic.
You actually plug them in and they light
So the
up?
lights light up.
This is like
Yes.
this is not the first time you've mentioned wanting an electronic version of a game.
it works.
All right, so Christmas Tree, my number 9. Number 9 is not on my list at all.
Okay. But if it was,
It would be
at number 9.
Yeah.
It was funny though, Suzanne, this was her number 1 game. She said, my number 1 is number 9. And it just made me laugh because it just sounded so weird.
All right, is it me?
Yes, is it number 9?
It is my number 9, yes. My number 9 is, I was surprised by a few games that I consider to be fairly simple games have simplified versions. And I was not necessarily expecting that trend. We've gotten heavy games, get dice games or card games, but there were things, I'm specifically thinking here of, well, this is kind of pushing the simple game bit, but Race for the Galaxy had a jump drive come out. And it's a very fast filler game, basically, just set in the universe of Race for the Galaxy. And then the other one that I'm going to go with here was CV, that I really enjoy. CV is a very light game. Had CV Pocket come out.
That's true. It's even lighter.
And I really thought both of those games, Jump Drive and CV Pocket, were great little portable distillations of a game that already was pretty simple, and I like that. But I don't think small games are taking over or anything, but I enjoy seeing the push to sort of figure out how much they can distill from something and still have it be fun, but quick and portable and easy to teach to just about anybody.
So if they announced a game called Kingdo, which is a shorter version of King Domino, would you want to play it?
Well, I'll play it, yeah.
Or how about King Domino with actual dominoes?
Like the actual pips.
No.
Okay, what's your number
confused.
9? What's your number 9?
Anyway,
No, what was his number 9?
it was CV Pocket.
Oh, CV Pocket. You mentioned 2 different
I
games.
know.
so
I'm going to
didn't
do that for
know.
most of them.
He's
So deal with
shorting
it.
a lot.
Yeah, he is.
Deal with it, man. I
talking
said
about-
I was
He's
dealing.
pulling a
20
Healy.
games on
He's
his
pulling a
own.
Healy.
There's at least 32 games, but again, I'm doing kind of categories.
All right, my number 9 is a game that I actually played in 2016. Actually, well into 2016, but it wasn't actually officially released until 2017. It's called Guards of Atlantis. It's by a company called Wolf Designer, and this one came out of nowhere for me.
Is that MOBA game?
Yeah, it's the mobile game. Yeah, he doesn't like it, correct. But he's like one of the only people I've played it with
That's probably
that
true.
didn't like it.
I don't like it.
Well, you haven't played it.
That's true.
Yeah!
That's
So-
my uninformed opinion.
the trolls
My name is
hat.
Reddit.
I know,
He's
right?
got the troll hat on.
The thing about Guards of Atlantis was the fact that it was, first of all, I'm not a big MOBA video game player anyway, so I didn't even know what MOBA was.
What's MOBA?
I can't remember now that I think about
It's
it.
multiplayer online battle
arena. Is that what it is?
I just made it up. I hope it's right.
I don't think it is.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah! Whoa!
Which makes no sense, but that is what that stands for.
Yes. Anyway, basically in MOBA style games, the focus of the game is your heroes. And then your heroes also have a whole bunch of little minions that are running around helping them.
Red shirts.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's how
That's a
this
Star
game
Wars
is.
reference
The
as
whole
well,
point of
people.
the game is you have a deck of cards. Wow, good night. You have a deck of cards. Am I the only one that's taking this list seriously? I feel like I am.
No, what are you talking about?
Okay, anyway. You have a deck of cards that represents, that are made up from your different heroes that are in the game, and you can use them. They get upgraded by switching out different cards throughout the course of the game when they get so many points and all this kind of stuff. And you're basically trying to infiltrate the other person's headquarters. They're trying to do the same thing to you. There's different battlegrounds that you can go through, and it's a really fun tension. Almost not really a tug of war. It's not really that, but I guess it kind of is. Because you're trying to get over there, they're trying to get over here, all this kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed it. Came out of nowhere. The models are really good. They're single mold. You don't have to put them together or anything like that. So it's a great little game, and everybody that I've played it with, except him, has really enjoyed the game. So that is number 9, Guards of Atlantis.
Number 8.
What 6 games are your number 8?
It's just one for this one, actually. My number 8 category is the idea of legacy games evolving past what we've known legacy games to be so far. And this is Charterstone for me. Because Charterstone, in a very real way, I thought it was a legacy game that worked, was efficient, made sense, but it was not a legacy game that simulated what's come before it. Not that there's been that much before it. But I thought it was interesting seeing one that tackled a different design space in board gaming. You know, a Euro game setting, one that is not necessarily story-centric, one that doesn't evolve the same aspects of previous legacy games, but still evolves and still is legitimately a legacy game. And I thought that was really interesting. It surprised me that worked as well as it did. You know, that the space for legacy feels, having played that game, largely untapped, and I thought that was interesting.
What if you look at the Charterstone, and was it 16 games of Charterstone, I think?
Yeah, they're
What if you look at those games as a prequel to the actual game? The whole thing is a build-up to the actual game.
Okay, sure, why not? I mean, I guess.
Well, no, but that's kind of the way. I mean, you could look at it that way. Like, we went through all that to build a final finished product game. The other legacy games have not been that way.
Right.
The game was the legacy thing, and it is here too to some
I mean,
degree.
doesn't Risk do that though?
Not really. I mean, you could. I
I
mean,
never finished it, so I don't know.
You could technically play on that board.
well, you could. Not even more. I mean, you could play on it, but there could be problems.
A lot of
Okay.
problems.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you could think of it that way, but that almost robs those 16 or however many games of meaning.
Right, and that's why I'm careful. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I
that's
don't-
one way to
no,
look
I
at it. I'm not. I mean, it was certainly a gaming experience.
Yeah, but I suppose you could. However, I do think it is a fun game. It's an enjoyable game. It's one that certainly surprised me. And it's different than what's been done with that same space before. So, I liked it. Number 8 for me, Charterstone.
Oddly enough, I'm not seeing this game on a lot of people's top 10 lists of the year.
Yeah.
It was Melody's number
Maybe
one.
it's a little late to the party.
We'll see.
I don't think it's late to the party.
I mean,
I
it
don't know.
just came out.
Yeah, but so did a lot of other games that
Yeah.
are making. But maybe because you need to play it so many times.
Yeah,
And
that
it
could
just
be.
came out. Maybe that's what it is.
That could be. I think the one thing that it did differently was that you legitimately have your own version of the game at the end of that battery of games, and that's the first time that a legacy game has done that well.
Yeah.
I mean, we already mentioned Risk Legacy,
Yeah.
but the game afterwards. I mean, I haven't played through the entire thing, but I've heard people say that it's just. I mean, like what you were saying, there's just a lot of problems with the board.
Okay. Interesting.
A lot of things that happen throughout the course of the game, and it's just not the best. But with Charterstone, it is a legitimate, full. Every part of the board is
Yeah, it works.
it
It's a
works
game.
well. So, okay.
What is your number 8?
My number 8 is a game that a lot of people were expecting me to put on my top 10 list, and they just missed the cut, to be honest with you.
Twilight Imperium 4.
But no, not Twilight Imperium 4. Then this is my number 8, Sword and Sorcery. The reason that this was a surprise for me was for 2 reasons. First of all, it was another dungeon crawler. And I was like, okay, another one. Could this game possibly do differently to make it better or more whatever?
Yeah, 100% so far.
Every other dungeon crawler that's already been made.
Got it.
Second thing, it came from Ares,
Amen.
and
White.
Ares has not, for me, has not really been up to snuff as far as the games that they've put out.
Well, there's War of the Rings, but
I know, there's that, but again, that's not one of my favorite games. I do enjoy Battle for Five Armies. The Battle of Five Armies.
my biggest surprise was finding out that Sam did not like War of the Rings
No,
as much as
it's not that I don't like it. There's just it has problems
I need a
that I don't
pen.
like.
Number 3.
But those were the two of the big reasons why this was a surprise for me. I did not expect to like this game at all very much, but it turns out that it does a lot of cool things, and it does those cool things very well. I like the fact that you're rolling 10-sided dice instead of just 6-sided dice for your combat resolution. I like that. All of the different things that are on the dice are custom. That's another cool thing that comes of
That was cool. No, I was not sarcastic.
that super
That
felt
was super
sarcastic.
trolly, right?
That was not sarcastic. Not everything is sarcastic. I love custom dice too.
Okay, all right.
Alright.
I did not realize that game had custom dice. It
Yeah,
didn't.
custom 10-sided
That game doesn't
dice.
look custom anything. It looks really generic.
It does look generic, which is, again, another reason
They should've-
why it's on this list.
They should have did a different box cover. I'm
It
sorry.
looks incredibly generic, but it is really fun. They do a lot of really cool things. It has a very cool storyline in it that you follow that gets unfolded throughout the course of each scenario that is just really, really fun. And that's why it's number 8 on my list, Sword and Sorcery. Very cool. Big surprise.
My number 8 is Cursed Court from Atlas Games. This is a very recent addition for me. I played this on the cruise, and then played it, and then played it, and played it on the cruise.
Oh, right.
I kept playing it with people, and the reason that I played this was because I was talking to a publisher.
Why did you do?
I don't know why I did publisher.
Why did you do air quotes on publisher? Who were
Watch
you
out.
talking to?
Watch out!
That's not what I meant. What I
Who,
meant-
pray tell, were you
I was talking.
speaking to?
I was talking to publisher. I meant to be like anonymous publisher. But that's what I meant. Quotes is the word. That's a terrible
It
thing.
might or might not be a publisher.
I was talking to a publisher.
A publisher, if they can so be called.
Yeah, that's like, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, if you're watching this, I apologize. What I meant. Anyway, they told me they hadn't played games. They hadn't been able to play like a new board game in like 2 or 3 years. This particular person.
Okay.
Because they're higher up in the company and someone else handles the board games thing.
Okay.
And they told me how much they like Cursed Court. They said they played it. It was an amazing experience. And I was like, well, that's interesting. That just kind of got me. And then the plastic pieces look really cool.
Yes.
The whole thing looked fun. And it's just a good little area control style game where you put chips down and say, I want this. And someone else will like, I'll put more chips there. And your chips are only there to outbid other people. And but you're like guessing on how many cards are in this face down queue. And you know some of the cards, but you don't know all of them. So there's a little bit of bluffing. It scales well. I really like it. Really surprised by this one.
That system sounds like Cargo Noir.
Okay, you're right. It does sound like Cargo Noir, but it's a lot faster than Cargo Noir, and it's a lot more interesting. Because in Cargo Noir, you're like,
Say so.
thanks.
Number 7.
My number 7 is actually a new expansion for an old game that I did not see this coming. This is a game that is 10 years old and had an expansion this year. And that surprised me, and I really enjoyed it.
Has it been having expansions?
No, it's never had one in 10 years, and they had one this year.
Was it a catapult? Okay, I don't
What
know.
had a catapult this year?
Nothing. All right.
Anyway, it's Jamaica the Crew.
Oh!
Jamaica the Crew. I
This
like.
has flown under the radar for me as far as, I mean,
Yeah.
I've played it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not what I mean, but it's just, I didn't even think about it because it was such a, I don't know, it's almost like an addendum.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh,
And
I'm
it's,
going to call expansions that from now on. And an addendum.
that's classy right there. You're fancy. It's I thought I really blah blah blah. I really enjoyed it. I was gonna say.
I thought I really enjoyed it.
I thought I really enjoyed it, but
He
then
enjoyed it.
I found out, did I enjoy it or do I just like it? You know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I made those air quotes. but
Anyway.
sure.
Quotes.
I thought Jamaica the Crew was really interesting. I thought it folded into the game really well. It's seamless, really. I mean, for me, it felt seamless. And there were 10 years between when the game first came out and the expansion, the first expansion. This game did not get anything else along the way.
I agree that it's been 10 years, but it's not really been widely available for 10 years.
Oh, I just mean when the original concept of the game is at least 10 years old. I
I'd
don't
like
know
to go
what
on
they-
record by saying that I am not nearly as enamored with this expansion as he is at
I
all.
think you're already on record about that.
No, I didn't. He did the review by himself. We didn't do
I
it
know, well,
together.
we've talked about it before.
I
on
just-
the air.
Yeah.
I find this expansion just exasperated. The first person across finish line wins.
Anyway, my number 7 is Jamaica the Crew because I wasn't expecting it and it pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah, I'll say it was definitely a surprise, yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot better than he did. Probably a little bit less than you did, but
I don't like it that much. So.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
you don't like
All right, my number 7 is based on an app that I play often when I'm cranky and want to kill humanity, and that is Plague Incorporated. I just actually played this the other day.
You shouldn't tell us when you play, probably.
I know, right?
You know,
Right.
if
Tom,
like-
what are you doing in there?
I'm playing
Plague
Plague
Incorporated. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, they released an editor for the game, so you're like allowed to edit the countries now before you play the game. So I made Madagascar, which has like been when I way back in the day when I used to play it on the computer. It was called Pandemic back then, and you would start it and you would infect the whole world, and planes and ships would carry the infections. But Madagascar, the only way to get there was no airport there. The only way to get there was by ship. And sometimes Madagascar would close their ports down. And so you have the whole world infected and Madagascar would survive.
So that's the place to be
in
something
a
goes
zombie
down.
apocalypse, I'm heading to
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Well, not necessarily, because
yes.
every game I play, I start in Madagascar now.
Oh my
Yeah, but
That is
that's
not happening again.
So you're cheating.
No, that's my start location. But I was able to go in and make some edits, and now Madagascar has 50 billion people in it, and
how. How?
What are they just like just stacked on top of each other?
that's how the disease started.
Good morning, everybody.
Anyhow,
What are we gonna do today? We can't move.
so when I heard that they were
I'm gonna
making a
roll
board
over
game
to
of
the
this,
store.
and it wasn't made by a board game company, it was made by just some new folks. I was like,
wanted to kill humanity.
IP. Not very good, but it's actually a pretty solid game where you're trying to spread your disease across the world, mutate it to make it that it works in hot environments and cold environments. It's a really good, solid game. I liked it a lot. Plague incorporated the board game.
And I would like to go on record as saying I don't think it's a very interesting game.
You did play it then?
The app.
Plague Incorporated.
The app. I have
Oh,
not played
that's
before.
right. Because you were at the airport, you were like, let me try this.
Well, you, I think, gave it to me, actually. It was more like, here, try this. And I'm like, what is happening right now? It's just,
he wasn't very good
Tap,
at
tap,
it.
tap, tap. Oh,
Yeah,
upgrade,
yeah, I
upgrade,
don't know.
Tap, 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 tap.
I don't
Upgrade,
know. I
upgrade,
didn't
upgrade,
find it that
upgrade.
interesting.
Tap, 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 tap,
You
tap.
gotta upgrade the right stuff.
I know.
yeah.
All right, what's yours?
All right, we're on what, sevens?
Yes.
All right, Sevens is a very pretty game, and that is the first thing that drew me to it. But then I found
Always
out
going
that,
for
hey,
looks.
we're just building stained glass windows. And
yeah, I would've
was
guessed this to be
like,
on yours.
oh my goodness, that sounds so boring. But it actually turns out to be really fun.
Yeah.
I like the Sagrada is the name of the game, and this is one of my surprises. I did not expect to like this at all. I liked the look of it, and that was about all that I liked on the initial foray into the game. But I love the dice drafting mechanism of it. I love being able to put, when we play it the right way, being able to put the dice onto the right sections of the board with the inlay that you've decided to go with for this game. Everything works really well. I like it a lot, and I did not expect to at all. So that was my number 7, Sagrada.
This one's getting a lot of love.
Yeah, very
Definitely.
much so.
Number 6.
My number 6 is from Tasty Minstrel Games. Tasty Minstrel made a game back in the day that I did not enjoy at all called Harbor. It was what's the designer? He's the guy who does all the...
Lahav.
No. That's his problem.
Nice! Nice! Bring on the troll hate!
So Harbor was just this, it was a really kind of boring little game for me, and I didn't really like it. Oh, Scott Alms was the guy who did it. I wasn't a really big fan.
Alms, yeah.
So they made a game this year called Harvest, which looks just like Harbor and starts with har. You know, they made them look very
The
different.
Har series, Har Har.
The next one is just called Har Har Har.
Har,
It's a
har,
pirate
har,
game.
No, it's a horror game.
Horror?
Horror.
Har Har. Har
Horror.
So anyhow,
Pirate horror game. Horror.
Horrible.
that's a good
No,
name.
that's not a good name. That will not translate to any other language.
Horror.
Har Har? No.
Yes.
No.
So anyway,
Harvest.
It would go to Korean pretty good.
horror.
Horror.
Okay, so anyway,
Stop making that noise, please.
so Harvest is a little worker placement game, and it's one of those games that has this little small feel to it, but feels bigger than that.
Yes.
Essentially, each person has their own special ability, and you're planting these little fantasy plants and things, and you get a few spots to put workers on, and you grow the plants, you harvest them, and you're trying to get the most money at the end of the game. You can build buildings that give you special abilities. The artwork is phenomenally done. There's a lot of game in a small package. Every once in a while, these games come across. Remember that old Istari game you talk about a lot, the museum one?
Micarinos.
Micarinos.
I don't know.
Gives me the
how
same
you
kind of
say
feeling
it.
that Micarinos
Okay.
is, because it's like Micarinos is like this really. It feels like a bigger game, but it's short, fast, and fun. This one has given me that same feeling. Harvest.
Cool.
Sounds horrible.
Oh my! You were sitting there the whole time,
I
not
was.
listening to anything I said, just to
wasn't
say that
thinking-
word.
Yes, I was. I was waiting for you to shut up. And
That's how you troll them. All right, what's
Good
yours?
one, Sam.
All right, my number 6. My number 6 is a game that is purportedly, well, not purportedly, I believe it is from the same person who designed Splendor.
So this is how this goes. It's like he may or may not have
Yes,
designed
exactly.
it.
But I have a hard time believing it because I really dislike Splendor a lot. But Majesty for the
character
Realm
flaw.
is one of those games that I actually do enjoy.
Yes.
As far as weight is concerned, I don't think it's terribly heavier than Splendor. It's about the same weight as far as that's concerned. So it's not the weight of the game that makes Splendor it's boring to me. I don't know what it is. It just is. But with Majesty for the Realm, there's a lot of other things going on. I also like the fact that you're getting points every single turn of the game. I like how you can work for those different combos that will come off of other people. I like the artwork in this game. There's just a lot of different things that made it come together for me. When I heard that it was from the same designer as Splendor, my expectation for the game went to nil, basically. But as turn after turn after turn, I began to like it a little bit more. That it began to rise.
You're like me though. You like that small world, drop things off to grab a card.
Yeah,
That's a good mechanism.
yeah. No, it is. It
Should be
is.
used in
It's,
a
it's
Little
really
combos and stuff are
right.
solid. They're
I
simple but
just
solid.
enjoy it a lot, and it just came out of nowhere for me as far as my expecting to like the game. So that is my number 6, Majesty for the Realm.
My number 6 was the fact that we had several of these behemoth indie games. And by that I mean 2 specifically, Seventh Continent. Like this, basically, I mean, I know most board gaming is basically indie anyway, but this is like really indie, right? Kickstarter, and then basically a small group of people, or possibly even one person, coming out with this very ambitious project. But the other one, which is the one I'm going to ultimately put on the list, is Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is about that big. And it is one person's design. It's at least that big. I mean,
I caught a game this big.
This
and there I was trying to
vicious
reel
story,
in
that's
that
right.
Gloomhaven. And it's incredible the amount of content that's in that box for it being one person, one Kickstarter, and that just sort of surprised me that we are able to get that sort of scale from individuals, like one person sort of working what I assume is, largely by themselves, and then taking that to Kickstarter and getting this thing made. To me, it feels like what Kickstarter is there to do in many ways, realized, One person being able to make something that they couldn't possibly, because this thing is going to take some money to produce, So I enjoyed that, and I thought that kind of game, coming from Kickstarter, again, coming from a single designer in many ways, was surprising and interesting. They're not necessarily games that I adore, certainly not as much as Tom does for both of those, but I enjoy them, and I think they are, massive, and it's impressive what's been done there. So that's my number 6, these behemoth indie games, especially Gloomhaven.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5 is another one of those, I don't know. It falls into the category of, I guess you could call it, I would normally call them mind-numbing games, where they could be basically played autopilot. When it comes to your turn, you have very few decisions to make.
Okay.
And I usually don't enjoy those with other gamers. But Century Spice Road falls into that category for me.
Wow.
And this one hit. Now I like the look of the Gollum edition better, so I actually kind of put /Gollum on this one, because I've only ever played Century Spice Road, but I like the look. I like the theme that's wrapped around Gollum edition a lot better. Just
Right.
can't get a copy of it. But
Right.
the game is fun. I like, for its simplicity, I like the level of components that came with it. Those little plastic bowls and it's really simple, but that blew me out of the water.
Yeah.
Because those came in the base game. It's not like some aftermarket thing that you had to buy. I really enjoyed the fact that they put that level of attention to detail to have cup holders or component holders that come with the game. The artwork is fine. The gameplay is simplistic, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. We played it at Gamma the first time, and I was like, okay, we'll play it. I just didn't.
That's
wanna,
right, because it didn't.
I didn't want to hunt for anything else to play, and this was starting.
That was his third choice.
But I just I enjoyed the game, and I wasn't expecting to at all. And it was one of those things that I literally sat down thinking, okay, I'll do this because I don't have anything else to do. But I came away from that game saying, that was fun. I enjoyed it.
I should play more games.
So, yeah, no.
Right, learn.
5 Century, Gollum edition, really, but Century Spice Road.
You guys have never had a bad experience when I've taught a game.
Yeah, right.
Oh, go.
All right. My number 5 is a game that came out of a big box store. That was a good game, and I wasn't expecting it. That's what surprised me, and that is Bob Ross, The Art of Chill game. That, right? Like, you say that, and
You got to kind of giggle a little bit.
yeah, you say that, and you're like, nah. I'm gonna go pull off a real game off the shelf. All right, hold on right there. But this was a proper game, and it works. It's fun. I thought it felt sort of Ticket to Ride-ish, and it's set collection. It's card play. It's a good game. Is it revolutionary? No. But I think for the market in which they placed it, like a Target store or something, that's actually impressive. Mm-hmm. That it is not some cash in, that it is not just some throwaway property, IP licensed game. It's a good game, and it works, and it's well made, and clearly a lot of care has gone into theming the game even. So I enjoyed it very much, and it was a big surprise for me because I was just not putting a lot of stock in it. I remember the first time I heard about it, I'm like, what?
Why?
This is gonna be some goofy game, but it's actually pretty good. Yeah, if you've never played it, if you enjoy the sort of family weight fare, and you are apparently a fan of Bob Ross like everyone else in the world, all of a sudden,
Yes.
then check it out. It's good stuff. All right, that's my number 5, Bob Ross, The Art of Chill game.
My number 5 is our first crossover, kind of, sort of, because he's been sticking like 4 games on each of his categories. But my number 5 is Jump Drive. When I first heard about Jump Drive, I was like, I want to know about Jump Drive. I want to know Simplified Race for the Galaxy. I want another Race for the Galaxy expansion.
I remember that.
I do too.
Similar like that, I think.
That's basically how he sounds to me all the time.
Why he went like...
I don't know what's happening.
Z was the one, I think you're the one who taught it to me, probably.
Of course, all the good games you've ever played.
Yes, all of them. I'm sorry. Good. No, games. One of those words. One of those words. Every word in that sentence you said was a lie.
All of them.
All right, so
You did it,
I tried. You wait. Okay, so anyhow, Jump Drive is really fast. It was a simple version of Race for the Galaxy, but I really liked it. I was impressed with how fast the game played. Yeah, it's not as diverse as Race for the Galaxy. It's never going to be, but it's its own game. I don't even look at it as like a stepping stone to Race for the Galaxy. It's just a good, solid little card game. And I teach it to people. They can play it easily. It's fast. Just liked it all across the board. So that's Jump Drive.
Cool.
Number 4.
Come on, crossover. We haven't had
My
any
number
crossovers
4. No, I don't think I'm going to have any crossover.
Oh, come on.
None
I'll
whatsoever.
change one when you say this.
No, because you haven't played this game yet.
You don't
You
know.
don't know that. Me and Z played the other night.
I don't think
Maybe
you
I
did.
played last night.
Me and Z.
Solitaire.
My number 4 is a game from Thundergriff Games, and it is not piratey themed. It is an
How Long.
abstract strategy game called Tower Long. Yes.
Oh, that's from Thundergriff? I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
that's from
Yeah, yeah.
Thundergriff. Yeah, they were right across the hallway from us in at PAX Unplugged.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that that game was from them, that's all.
Neither did I. I didn't know about it either. I saw that Dead Men's Doubloons was on on display, so I was looking at that.
I saw a whole pallet of Devon's doubloons fall off
And-
a forklift.
Yes, I did too.
That happened?
That happened.
Yeah, a forklift came by and dropped the whole pallet off.
And it just
then
went-
and then the guy just kind of drove off. It was a drive-by dropping.
Oh, no.
But they did come back and fix it. But then we told them so that
Yes.
it seemed like it was okay.
I took some pictures.
It didn't seem like there was any damage.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was. No, nothing was. They were all pretty well packed up. Nothing was
Okay,
damaged.
okay.
But anyway, I saw that one, and that one I was familiar with because of Essen. So I was stopping by, and they said, "Hey, here's this game," and I was like, "Okay, it looks cool. I like it, but it seems like it's abstract strategy." And it's, yeah, well, stop back by later, and we'll try it. And so we did. We sat down. We actually played a couple of games right there, and really enjoyed the game. And this is another thing where it was just completely not on my radar. Not on my radar at all. I don't go searching for abstract strategy games.
You don't really search for games much at all, in a sense.
No,
they kind of come to
not
you.
at conventions. I'm usually pretty much just kind of going with the flow. But with this one, completely liked the fact that they're using a familiar mechanism, the Mancala of taking everything from one spot, dropping one off in each spot, and wherever the last thing is, that's what you get to do. But with this one, it doesn't seem like it's just thrown in there, because it really does have to play into your strategy a lot, because there are some spots on that it's called the Bagua. There's some spots on there that you can't use because of the orientation of your dragon, and if you land on those, it's like it's a bad.
It's a funny statement. I don't know. Out of context, I was like, look, you can't use that spot because of the orientation of your dragon. I'm like, what?
I don't really think you
Okay,
should
I
worry
guess
about
so.
my dragon.
Anyway,
Okay.
moving along, the idea of the game being an abstract strategy was neither here nor there. I like the fact of two dragons fighting each other over, whatever
Filthy
space it is.
mortals.
There are portals that you can use, which is another cool thing. There's a lot of things that was cool about this. Has a whole bunch of scenarios in it. I wasn't expecting to like it. Didn't even know about it. And now I think it's a great game. One of the best.
If you want to
games
get
of the year.
your game on Sam's list, you want a booth near us at a convention, because that's that second game. No, it is. The other one
On
was
this list, yeah.
Atlantis one.
Guards of Atlantis, yeah, they were right around the corner.
So if you're right around the
and
corner from us, you
Talon
come
was
by
also
and
that.
Sam will Sam
that
will
gives
play your
you
game.
that gives you a 20% chance of making it onto my list.
All right, well, 20% is pretty good. Now, my number 4, the game looks boring as all get out. Its name is boring. Everything about the game makes you want to run away from
Boring.
it. It's a small game from WizKids called Fantasy Realms. This game it's like, use generic fantasy, use...
Gosh, by WizKids standards, this game is gorgeous.
Oh man.
Wow, that's a super mean statement. No, come on.
Have you seen some of those covers? I'm sorry, y'all. Get on your cover game.
Okay, but Fantasy Realms...
You went Southern white dude on us. He
But-
was like, y'all.
Fantasy Realms.
no, I
Fantasy
didn't.
Realms looks really bad, but it's just it's a little card game where you are discarding a card and drawing a card. That's the whole game. But you're trying to get a handful of cards at the end of the game. They score. The scoring for this game takes longer than the game does.
Yeah.
Because each card will score you points if you have this card, or some cards fit together in pairs. And I really, really like it. Every time I play it, I have a really good time, because you're trying to shoot the moon sometimes. Like this card,
Feels like you're shooting the moon all the time in that game. That's the thing.
and you're like, oh, look how many. Like the last game I played of it, I just played it on the cruise with some people, and I was like, man, I am really doing well here. I lost, and I was like last place
Yeah, but you probably felt good anyway because
because I got a lot of points.
I think that game is.
Although
was one
Zev
of the
told me he got
most,
0 points in that game.
Really, is that even possible?
That's what I asked, and apparently he took some combo cards hoping to get the card that canceled out a bunch of
probably
other
one
cards.
card canceled the rest, and that
Yes.
was that, right? Yeah, okay.
But the game is like 15 minutes, so it's not a really big deal.
That was one of those games that really surprised me too. I didn't put it on the list here, but that's such a cool game.
It is, but
And it's a
I
game
would
that
never
makes
buy it
you
walking
feel
by it on the
cool.
shelf.
Yeah.
It's called Fantasy Realms.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I like that game a lot.
I remember there was a day I used to get excited about fantasy themes. They really kind of, the industry was like, people like fantasy themes? Open up, kids.
All right, is it me with my number 4?
Yes.
My number 4 is Fog of Love is the game, and it's because of the experimental nature of the design.
That's a good choice.
I think it's not something that is typical. It really is outside of what you expect in most board gaming. This is sort of, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is basically like an RPG in which the setting is a couple going on a date or sort of going through a relationship. That's what it, depending on what kind of scenario you play. That's what it is. It feels like an RPG. It's going to have some storytelling in there as you fill in the story that the game gives you. You're going to make some choices based on cards that tell you, okay, you and the other person do this thing and that thing. Which of these 3 or 4 choices would you go with? You both pick, you reveal. If you match, some stuff happens. If you don't match, something slightly different is going to happen. You build up your character like in a regular RPG, you know. It's a weird thing. But for one thing, the level of care and detail that went into this production is insane. The game manufacturing, like the product, right, the physical thing, is gorgeous. And there's so many components that feel like they're deluxe components right out of the box. But also the gameplay is so out there and so unique and interesting. And it works. It's a clever game. So
Clever game.
I want I want to see more of this kind of thing, more experimental games. I don't want every game to become an experimental game, obviously, right? But we have one that I know of right now. I'm sure I'm going to hear about 12 other. Yeah, anyway, my
Email
number...
him at ziswrong@gmail.com.
Oh, I got to go get that now. Fog of Love is my number 4.
3's.
Number 3.
My number 3 is a game that I was expecting to just be some sort of take that game. I think it's from Evil Hat Productions. I like giant monsters, and this is
cannot
Kaiju
lie.
Incorporated. Yeah, it's a bad
Just
song.
dropping all of the references, man.
Kaiju Incorporated is a game in which you have this monster and you're going around and smashing cities up, and you are trying to play cards that, when other cards are played, will give you things. It's a really cool concept. It's this: do I want cards that activate on other people's turns, or do I want cards that activate on my own turn?
Machikoro style.
Yes, it's like a better Machikoro. It really is. I really like it, and I like the theme too. And you're trying to destroy cities and around the world and do different things, and you're not walking a monster miniature around blowing up cities, right? And that's what I was kind of looking for. But the card play of this worked really well. I was really happy with the whole thing. It's a lot of game in a small package. I kept it. I like it.
It is a very small box, yeah. And I know you were very enamored with it when you first played.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone I played it with was really happy with it. I do not think I played with someone who disliked it.
Cool.
I didn't
All
play
right.
with Sam though, so.
Yeah, there's no minis in it, I'm sorry.
I am the board game killer.
Is it me?
It is you.
All right, my number 3 is New Ways to Co-op. And this is 2 things, of course. But I'm going to stick with the second one. I'm going to say.
You can't.
I don't want to hear it again.
Well, he's only done it for one list.
I did
No, but
categories.
he's like making up for like 2 or 3 different things
Okay.
now.
Anyway, this is basically games that are co-ops, but have, this year I noticed a few of them, that are not doing the do a good thing, then do a bad thing on your turn. Next, we have now gotten past the Lord of the Rings co-op and the pandemic structure.
Some of us have got past the pandemic structure. Some of us.
Yeah, 2 of the 3.
I think anyone who still likes pandemic at this point is just stuck in their ways
Yes.
and archaic, really.
And they're trying to put it on every list possible.
All right. Anyway, so
Yeah.
what are your
So
examples
Lost
here?
Expedition is one of them. Okay, Lost Expedition I thought was a really cool cooperative game in which is just a deck of cards trying to go through a jungle and survive with your team of people. It's very different, very unique. I enjoy it. Very tense, also difficult. The other one, the one I'm actually picking for the topic here, is Subterra. Subterra is a tile-laying game. Did you play this with me? Subterra is a tile-laying game in which you are exploring the underground caverns. It kind of seems like a Carcassonne. If you're just looking at it, the way it plays is it's kind of like an escape adventure. You know, you're trying to find the exit and get out, and bad things keep happening to you. But the bad things are organically happening from finding new locations. There is no bad, like the bad stuff that's going on isn't as generated by turn structure. Yeah, there is that. You flip a card and some bad stuff happens. But you are walking into that bad stuff. You are looking for that opportunity, right? And I enjoyed that. I thought a tile-laying cooperative game with avoiding all these, bad things going on, and the setting's really cool. I thought that was original, and I thought that worked really well. So Subterra is a cool cooperative game, and it's something that felt new to me. That is my which one?
Number three.
3.
I concur. That was a good game.
How many did you have for your number 3?
Just one.
Okay, just clarifying.
Lame.
All right, my number 3 is a game that has a pretty, not terribly boring cover, but when you look on the back and you notice that it's just a bunch of wooden blocks in the game, not very interesting looking at all. And
could
you're
be
building
said
a
about-
pyramid out of these blocks.
Oh, I thought it was going to be
And
tax.
no, not tack or talk, whatever it's called. No, this one's called Pyramid Poker, put out by R&R
Oh,
Games.
yeah, this game
And
looks so boring.
Here it looks so boring, but it is actually really fun. It's a 2-player game. The blocks have a suit and a number on them. One for each. There's 52 blocks.
They're basically playing cards.
Yes, they're playing cards, but they're blocks. They're building blocks, and so you separate you take a certain number. I can't remember what it is. You take a certain number of blocks out of the thing. Each player does, and then the rest go back, and you each take turns building a pyramid. There's of course placement rules where you have to. You can't place onto the second until you have 2 that are connected, and you place it in between the 2. All that kind of stuff. But you place the blocks facing where the suit is facing you.
Yeah, that's
not
why I don't
facing
think it can
you.
be done with cards. It has to be blocks.
No, obviously. No,
Right.
I'm just saying, but they are basically playing cards. It's
Okay.
a playing
Yeah,
card deck on a bunch of blocks.
On a bunch of blocks, correct. And your opponent is doing the same thing. So they're on your side of the pyramid, you're going to be able to see some of the suits, the one that you've placed, but you're just going to see blank wood, the ones that they've placed. So you don't know what they are. And once the pyramid is built, then you start taking blocks off of that, and you're trying to build 3 hands of cards. Poker hands, correct. And whoever builds the best 2 out of 3, that's the basic way to play. There's other ways that you can play as well, where each hand has a certain amount of points, and whoever has the strongest pointed hand, 2 out of 3 wins. So it's very fun, but it totally does not look like how fun it is.
Yeah.
And on top of that, anybody who has played poker will automatically get this game, except for the whole building mechanism, which takes like all of 2 minutes to explain.
Yeah.
So that's why this was a huge surprise for me. I was able to play this with my father-in-law. They were down visiting when my wife was in the hospital, and that he
They played
took
for
to this-
money. Sam is now broke.
No, that's not it.
Wow.
He took to this game and he was like, "Wow, what other games do you have?" And I was like,
Hold
was
on, buddy. Have you ever heard of Twilight Imperium?
He opens a door.
He walked right into that one.
exactly right. But it was a great game. This is taking a very prominent place on my shelf.
That's a good pick. I didn't even think of it, man, but you're right. And it's lightning fast.
Yes, very much. so.
Like 10 minutes to play this game.
Yep, absolutely. So that's my number 3, Pyramid Poker.
Number 2.
All right, my number 2 is the idea that we're getting these classic games restored. And of course, by Restoration Games, haha, but many reprints are also coming out of games that are classics coming back out. And here on the list, I'm specifically putting down, I thought of Downforce, yeah, but that's not as old. So I'm going to put Indulgence
Yeah.
on the list.
Best trick-taking game of the year.
Because Indulgence is Dragon Master, which is one of the originals. It's gone through a few iterations. It's actually pretty old, and it just came out. It got reworked. It got prettied up, et cetera, and it fits into what's happening right now in gaming seamlessly. It doesn't feel like an old game, and in many ways, it's not. Right? It got reworked. It's not a straight reprint. But I love that we now, as a hobby. It sounds like I'm being possessive of the hobby. I don't mean to be.
He owns a good chunk of it, though. 30%.
This hobby of ours, how about that, is now old enough that we have the ability to go back and reprint things that are good.
I think it's
And I
neat
like
when
that.
you bring back these older games, and I don't even think they're that old, and people play them, they're like, wow. Like Through the Desert.
Yeah.
They just reprinted that, and I taught it to several people on the cruise, and people had never even heard of it.
Well, but that's-
it's not that
it's out of
old.
print.
It's like 18 years, but because the hobby is older,
Yeah.
that stuff is neat to me.
They don't see it sitting on a shelf anywhere.
Yeah, but I like that is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, that's cool.
That we now, as a hobby, again, have history enough that you can go back, find something,
Mm-hmm.
reprint or update it, and people can go, wow, this is good.
Yeah, Coliseum is the same way. No,
Well,
it's-
good games, I mean, like, you know, you can go back and find
I
good.
will allow one punch.
Wow. Thank you. Yes!
Punch tally now?
Finally!
Anyway, Indulgence is my number 2. And again, Classics coming back, I think, is awesome.
All right, my number 2. I have never liked a Jeff Engelstein game,
Oh, we're not playing that game. Okay.
but I can't say that anymore. And
Wait, you've
that's
never liked
why
a Jeff Engelstein game?
I have not. I have never liked any of his games because he usually tended to go towards this whole idea of timed chaos, where you're just doing this and somebody over there is doing something else, and it's all
Both words
timed.
you like.
And oh yeah, I love that. No, I hate that kind of game.
Rover Rally-esque.
And that's
Love
the
it.
kind of game that he was usually making.
Yes.
The Expanse, though, breaks that mold. And now I can no longer say that I don't like. I have never liked a Jeff Engelstein game because The Expanse is a great game. It's put out by WizKids this year based on the popular TV show The Expanse. It doesn't look that great. The board has some graphic design issues. The things that you're moving on the board
See our
are
earlier
just
comment about
cubes
WizKids.
are just cubes and little discs and that type of thing. But it's a really neat asymmetric faction area control game, and it is amazingly fun. And I really enjoy the game. And this one, I saw The Expanse. And I was like, ooh. And then I said designed by
Yeah.
Jeff. And I was like,
I like to point out, Jeff, that we do like you. I mean,
no,
Sam is like
absolutely.
coming down pretty hard here.
Absolutely.
But
No,
me and
it's
Z,
not Jeff that I
we
don't
still
like.
get to go to your secret
It's
party,
his,
right?
It's his designs that I haven't liked. And
I like you, but I just don't like your clothes.
you're the one that.
Oh, that wasn't a very good analogy at all. Shut up. I'm gonna...
Yes, thank you.
Okay, how about this? I like you, but I don't like your personality.
That also is not
That's worse.
not possible. No, it's not possible. The Expanse, my number 2. Jeff, thank you.
My number 2 is Alexandria. This was a game that when I first saw it, I was like,
Wow.
I want to play this game.
I was like, wow, Alexandria sounds really cool. It was one I was excited about. And then when I saw the board and heard, I was like, oh, it looks like a Euro game. And it's like the farthest thing from a Euro game. It's all about moving around in this library and trying to meet your victory point conditions. You each have your own deck of cards, and
Sounds like a Euro game.
yeah, but you are constantly. You're right. But it's very thematic in the sense that one person is actually setting fires in there. Every once in a while, you can. You're starting.
I love it.
I heart you
I want to
guys.
hear that. I want that rethemed version.
Beavis and Butthead
Yeah.
in Alexandria.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the theme works really well, and I like how all 4 characters are very different. One guy's just going around and trying to rescue important people. There's people trapped in the library. You can try to rescue them if you want.
That would never happen.
or,
Or people
Okay.
trapped in the library.
but
So is
but
it-
it might be more important to rescue a book.
Yes.
So
It
each
depends.
player in the game then has sort of a different.
Your cards
goal
are going to
from the
give
other
you
people.
they're really different.
That's cool.
Like you spend time units to do things in the game, and many cards have time units that you can spend of another player if they're next to you because they're helping you.
Whoa.
And that gives you a point, right? But it still kind of sucks. I'm not like, oh, is he like, thanks for helping me, here's your point. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, but you just spent 2 of my time units. But one of the characters, when he helps other people, he's constantly getting a whole lot of points. He's that kind of guy like, I'll carry this, thank you. And then he gets points for that. And then, like I said, the one person starting fires, which is her, she's trying to burn the library down.
Fire.
And another
Wow, that sounds very different. Actually, that sounds pretty innovative.
it plays very differently than oh man, I didn't put it on my innovative list, but it could have been.
I really want to.
Alexandria.
And finally, number 1.
Still no crossovers. Other
we
than
had
that,
one.
that was a
Not really,
semi-crossover.
not really.
No, that's not really one.
Is this going to be a crossover?
I doubt it.
trying to think what your biggest surprise of the year would be. Give us some clues.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Is it a category?
Don't board it out like you normally do.
When I saw the
Wow.
when I saw the theme of the game, automatically turned it off.
I vomited.
No, I didn't vomit, but I automatically did not put any stock in the game at all.
Oh, stock. Okay, it's a stock. That's a clue. It's a
That's not it at all.
stock manipulation game with vomit.
I did not.
Zombies. Was
No.
it a zombie themed game?
No, I enjoy zombie game. You're the one that
That's me. You're right. You're
throws
right.
up in
You're
your
right.
mouth when you see another
I
zombie
don't do
game.
that because that's super gross. But all right, give us a theme then at least. Will that give it away?
Yes, it would.
Is it back tens?
Bean
Because it's
trading.
Bean trading?
bean trading. No.
No, you are weaving
It's a very prominent. It's a very prominent designer.
Uwe Rosenfeld.
No. Rosenfeld.
It's Reiner Rosenfeld. Get it right.
I don't know.
Just get-
Who's the
what's the
designer?
game?
Tell me
Richard
the
Garfield.
Bunny Kingdom?
Bunny Kingdom.
That's right. He didn't. That's true. If you had said bunnies, that was the
I
only
had
game.
such an adverse
Kingdom
reaction.
building would've worked.
I had such an adverse reaction to this theme. I disliked the theme
Rabbits.
from the. I know.
I hate rabbits. Why did it have to be rabbits? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da.
Shut up, dude. Let him finish.
You
Split a rabbit.
jest, but really, I completely lost all interest in this game when I found out it was bunnies. I mean, really.
Like, what, did you have like
The
a bad
artwork-
experience with
no,
a hair
I
or
just,
something?
No,
at
it's
one
just that with a hair. No, I just don't. I don't know. It's just why did it have to be bunnies? Seriously,
He did it.
I know. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Are you trying to have like cute overload?
No, because they're propagating that quickly.
That's basically what it is, I think.
No, I think they just like rabbits. But okay, anyhow.
That's true.
We
I
get-
think they were
but
just-
you do like it. Is I think the point of this list.
Yes, the whole point. It's my number one. He's trying to bring it around.
He's trying
Is the
hard.
fact that I really enjoy the game, and the reason it's in my number one spot is because the flip flop that I did
the
and
largest,
the distance
right.
that I did between this game from when before I played it and then after I played it was the largest out of all of these.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, even with Jeff's game, I usually don't like his games, but it's sci-fi, so there's a glimmer of hope there. A Yellow, I usually like their games, but why bunnies? You know, so there's this huge gap between before and after. That's why it's my number one. I love the game. I love the 3D nature of the game. I know he's like waiting to get started. So
I'm next,
that's
I think, anyway.
No, I am.
Bunny Kingdom, my number one.
My number one. No, my number one is not nearly as dramatic as Sam's because I did like the box cover of this game. I just put it number one on my list because I think it's the game I like the most of all of the ones. And it was just an indie game, and I was like, we'll see how it works. And I loved it. I was so surprised by it, and that's Paper Tales. This was on your top 10, right?
Yes.
It was pretty close for me.
Wow.
And yeah, because Paper Tales, I was kind of like, okay, it's drafting.
Keep talking.
It was drafting, and
You stop being a weirdo.
so it was drafting, but it just plays so well. It feels really balanced. You know, it plays interestingly. There's a lot of games that have these interesting things. Like a lot of the games I mentioned on my list, Alexandria, I like that a lot. It's another indie-ish style game, but it's not as balanced, I think, as it could have been, I think.
Okay.
Paper Tales feels like it is professionally balanced. It really feels well done. It's really cool. It's different. It plays smoothly. I'm impressed by everything about it. It looks like an Asmodee. It feels like an Asmodee production from a small company, and that's where my surprise comes from, I guess.
I agree with all
You're not
that.
as big of a fan of it, I know, but you're wrong. So,
Boredom in a box.
All right, my number one is the fact that we had a couple of two-player trick-taking games this year, and I was not expecting any because they're not very prevalent.
I don't
We
think I've
had
played any two-player trick-taking games, have I?
Fox in the Forest is one.
I didn't
Fox
play
and the
that one.
Forest is one. The one I'm actually giving the title to. I mean, they're both great. I really have a hard time
And
here
the
picking
winner
which
goes
one.
to...
Claim.
I didn't play that one.
Yeah, you did with me.
Oh, then it must have been great.
I thought you did anyway. The one I showed you in the other room. You had the
Well, that
different
narrows it
suits.
down.
The different suits are the different like goblins, and there's doppelgangers, and there were like. So you played tricks, you built up the deck, and then with that new hand, you played a second half of the game.
It's a great game.
You don't remember?
No, I remember, but until you went through that, that explanation, nah.
You recall now?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you seem to like it when we play it.
No,
anyway.
I do.
The only reason I put it on the list is because you liked it.
It's
You
just
don't like it?
not very, not very memorable.
Okay, my number one
I
is
do
whatever
very
Tom
much
just
enjoy.
said then.
My number one
Fox
was
in the
today.
Forest.
I thought these guys knew me.
Anyway, Fox in the Forest, Claim, both are two-player only trick-taking games, and they're both great. They're both different, for one thing. They're very different games from each other. But they give me something I did not realize was that I wanted, for one thing, and I like trick-taking games, and being able to play with two is great. And they both explore new space, which is neat. I dig that very much. So yeah, my number one, two-player trick-taking games, Fox in the Forest and Claim, both did it very well.
Well, there you go. Our top
Very
10
cool.
surprise of 2017. Of course, our surprise from 2017 will continue on into halfway through 2018, really, because we'll be like, wow, this game, when did it come out? 2017. Oh, okay, and that's going to happen because we still haven't even played half the games in 2017, probably. I know this because they're in the mail. But anyhow, what are your surprises? What games did you play that you were expecting to be bad, or you were just like, and then you played it and were floored with how good it was? These are good surprises. Tell us in the comments. Tell us in the comments why bunnies are good or not. Have an argument. Go for it. Also, Star Wars is an amazing movie.
Oh,
Are we
my
shoehorning
goodness.
this in?
That is going to get the bulk of the comments.
Last Jedi, amazing.
I agree.
All right, anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
Watch out! I'm Z Garcia. Thank you for tuning in.
And I'm Sam Healy. See you guys on the flip side after the dust clears from that raucous.
Ooh.